Well, we've got 25 to 35 mile an hour winds. That means it's gonna be a yellow belly, stickleberry back bite, 3-inch little jerk twin baits, and about 2 inches of water. I'm just kidding. I'm up here with my buddy Scotty. The ice just went out 2 days ago, so we're gonna see if we can get some early bass, big pike, and walleyes to bite here. What do you say, Scotty? Let's go do it. The water's cold, the ice just went out. It's definitely gonna be a challenge. I don't have a lot of experience fishing for fish when it's 42, 44 degrees up here, so. Well, we've got eagles and icebergs right now to start the day. We've got ice up on shore. The water temp is 44 degrees. What we're gonna do, I think, is we'll start out fishing some of the flats and then start throwing jerkbaits and crankbaits on the windblown stuff in that chop over there, buddy.
Yep, I can't remember a time when I've actually fished for smallies with snow on the shore, but I'm gonna give it a shot, man. One thing I know about the UP is it's great fishing, and the anticipation of fishing for big smallies in the spring up there, I was really excited.
This is a special place for me. Every year I try to come back here either with a couple of my buddies or try to make a family vacation because it's such a beautiful place with incredible fishing. Just interesting how there's so much ice this year compared to a normal year. You know, one of the first things I like to do is I like to go shallow. Look for the warmest windblown flats that I can find if there's some rock or wood, and that's what we've got here. The bass are gonna start moving up in big waves. They're gonna start feeding on the schmelt, the perch that are up here. So they're gonna start pushing up shallow, and that's where we're looking first.
I figure I'll kind of get this edge more while you're casting up shallow.
This may look a little crazy the way I fish a jerkbait like this, but in cold water, I like to give it a nice long pop and whip that rod with some slack, like that, and just let that bait sit there. You know what I love about coming up here in the springtime is the fact that everything's spawning. You've got bass, you've got pike, walleyes, you've got splake and cohos and trout, all different species available here in the Great Lakes in the UP where we're fishing. And it's a good opportunity to bust that cabin fever and come catch a bunch of big fish. You know what's crazy is we've got this 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's choppy as can be out here. You know, my whole life I've run an aluminum boat, and I'm just shocked, you know, at the way these boats handle, the way that the wind doesn't blow. They just stay glued to the water, man.
It's like a battleship on the water.
Unbelievable. Well, I see some fish out deep right here. Now, short blobs like this, those look like bass to me. The fish are down near the bottom, so we're gonna start shallow. If we don't get anything shallow, we're gonna try out deep where we're marking these fish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well, Scotty, I'm really not seeing any fish down here. We've got 39, 40-degree water temps.
Oh.
You want to know the tip? The tip is when you got gale force winds, you got a sick producer behind the camera, and 39-degree water temps, stay at home and don't try to go out fishing. There's always a backup plan. The backup plan is to try to get into one of these protected Lake Superior coves. See if we can go get some big pike or maybe some trout in here. A lot of good memories here from last fall.
Oh yeah.
A little different now in the spring though. We got the ice out, the fish aren't spawning. I said, you know what? We're only up here for a couple of days. Why don't we go and see if we can go and catch some trout? Trout are a cold water fish. There he is. Hooked up, Scotty.
Got one. Right.
I put a little jig and gulp on, or what do we got here?
Switched it up a little, huh?
Got a little trout, little splay.
Oh.
Look at that, everywhere you go, these trout or walleyes or bass or pike, they're all gonna eat the good old jig and gulp. There we go, come on. I got one too, buddy.
All right, double
header.
Double
I'm gonna come back by you. Whoa.
First double of the day. Looks like I got a splake. Got a little splake on here. Oh, whoa, whoa.
I got a splakey too. Mine got me all wrapped up.
Oh, man.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Boy, I gotta hop back on that trolling motor, dude.
Dude, that wind is ripping. Yep, I'm gonna get up here.
We got chaos. Looks like we found a little school of some splake.
Well, Mother Nature doesn't always hand you the weather you want, and we had to make the best out of a situation, so we knew changing species might be the ticket.
All right, well, there you go. Our first doubleheader splake of the year. We're gonna keep a couple of them. We just got up here. We're gonna keep a couple and cook a few of these up tonight. Tasty fish.
North American Fisherman is brought to you by Peak Antifreeze. Get your Peak Real Tree Hat. Details at peakauto.com. By Trilene. Anglers trust Berkeley Trilene. By Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. And by Abu Garcia for life.
Can't remember a time when I've actually fished for smallies with snow on the shore, but I'm gonna give it a shot, man.
It's a bit early to be out in the boat, but Eric Haataja is in the UP giving it a try.
You know, I've been coming up here for over 30 years fishing, but the one thing I didn't know was that there was a decent walleye population hanging right outside these splake.
There's one.
In the spring in this cold water. You never know what you're gonna catch. What do we got?
Oh, looks like we got a walleye.
All right, first walleye of the year.
Mixed bag here, there we go.
We'll take it, that's a nice little eater.
Not bad.
All right, Scotty.
Yeah, just switched over that jig and gulp and bam. Found this little bit of dirty water and this walleye whacked it.
Oh, he hit it. Here he comes. Dude, there's one right behind it right now.
Oh, you got a walleye following it?
Oh, you got it. Right here, right here. He just came up and drilled it right next to the boat. I had him hit it. Dude.
Nice fish, nice fish.
On a jerk bait.
All right.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, that was.
One of the craziest bites I've ever experienced right there. I mean, I saw the fish come up, he hit my stick bait, and I just kept working it and working it. Then he just drilled it right next to the boat. Nice post-spawn walleye, Lake Superior walleye. We'll take them. Well, day two started off calm, sunny. The water was crystal clear and flat. So we decided to make a run out in the Lake Superior and see if we could find some of these giant Great Lakes pike. All right, so here's the deal with fishing up here. You know, a lot of this is visual fishing. It's a lot like saltwater fishing, and you fish saltwater fish too. What I like to do is just look and see if I see pike or walleyes, like we spotted some of those walleyes yesterday, and then we can catch them.
Fish on?
Yeah, Scotty. Oh, nice splake.
Little splake. We couldn't resist hitting this little creek mouth here. Couple casts in with the jig and gulp. Got a nice splake.
Got him.
All right.
Got him.
What we got?
Oh, that's what is that? A rainbow? You never know what you're gonna catch when you come up here. That's why every year I try to make it up here in the spring. I love the multi-species fishing up here. It's so much fun. It's a great looking fish.
Yeah.
All right, Scotty, we got him. Well, we were cruising down the shoreline. We can't help ourselves. Caught a couple splake. I don't know if that's a splake or a lake trout, but we're gonna get that back. Scotty, what do you think? Time to keep running down if we can get a couple giant gators? Got him. Right here. Yep.
Good one?
You bet.
Nice. Right.
All right.
Pike.
That's a start.
Yeah.
Up in the shallow water. He hit it right next to the boat. There he is. Not a bad pike, Scotty.
No, not at all.
Throwing this plastic up in the shallow water. There he is. Nice big gator. That's why we came here to the Great Lakes.
Fish.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, plastic.
Yep.
Come Oh, dude, it's a giant. I gotta grab the net. Get him up, buddy.
Oh, look at that tank.
Wow. Oh, take a look at that right there. That's why we came up here. Look at the girth of those things. That fish is all day 5 pounds, Scott. Nice job. There you go. Let's get a quick picture of him. And
Sure.
there he is.
Got him?
Yep.
Oh, another good one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Staying down, staying down, staying down. Coming up, coming up, coming up, Scotty.
Oh, here it comes, here it comes.
Oh, yeah,
buddy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tank.
That's another super tanker. Yeah, man. 2 fish over 4 pounds. Look at the way that fish just hammered that thin fisher, that blade bait. Cold water, blade baits. Out deep when it's cold on the thin fisher.
There we go.
Hooked up?
Yep.
What do you got, buddy?
Oh, it's got some weight to it.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna grab the net.
Yeah, let's get the net on this one. Nice walleye.
Oh yeah, stay, keep him glued, buddy, keep him glued. Get him in the frame.
Nice.
All right, man. What a way to finish up some great fishing up here in the UP, man. I mean, we've caught everything. Pike, flake, walleye, smallmouth, you know, everything. But you get up here in the UP, some fantastic fishing.
The following products have been field tested and approved by members of the North American Fishing Club. When it's cold outside, stay warm with these award-winning Zippo products. This set has everything you need to enjoy the great outdoors, from hunting to fishing to hitting the ski slopes. The Abu Garcia Cardinal SX Freshwater Reel offers serious performance with cutting-edge design. Our field testers found it to be a high-value reel at low cost. To find out how you can become a field tester or have your products tested, visit fishingclub.com.
Just ahead on North American Fisherman, the mystery beneath the water and the first battle of knot wars. But first, the rewards of beating that cold on Michigan.
All right, so here's the deal. Scotty and I were just kind of putting along here, looking out deeper for some bass. And we side imaged a piece of structure out here and it looks like it's loaded with crappies. So I got my 3-inch gulp minnow, 1/8 ounce jig, and I'm gonna just pitch right out here and see if we can get them. I mean, they gotta be crappies. The water temp's like 44 degrees, and there was just a whole bunch of fish sitting around what looked like a piece of structure just sitting down here. We'll see what we can find here. Just pop it, cast it out, pop it, cast it out, pop it, let it sink, and usually they just grab it. There he is, just like that. First cast, hooked up, and I'm sure it's gotta be a crappie. Look at the way he ate that gulp minnow. You don't think a crappie's gonna come and eat a 3-inch gulp minnow on a jig head? There you go.
Now we're just using these little 1/8 ounce heads with the gulp 3-inch minnow and just swimming it through the schools there. And it's pretty much almost a fish every cast. I mean, once you get on them, and with that side scan, it's lock and load for these guys.
There he is. I don't know how big it is. It's a big one, Scotty. It's way bigger than I thought. The water is so cold. Easy, easy. Look at the way this thing just ate that bait. Ate that bait. Oh man, on the thin fisher. Look at that toad. We've got ice behind us. I mean, this thing just barely fought. I didn't even realize it was that big, but that's 5.5 pound smallie. What a great smallmouth. So if you're gonna decide to come up here and do some fishing, the one big thing I wanna recommend is bring everything in your tackle box because you never know what you're gonna catch.
This small Minnesota lake is normally quiet and serene. But today, 2 huge machines break the silence during this seasonal ritual. These mechanical harvesters are here to chop through the massive amounts of invasive weeds that are choking this lake. Eurasian water milfoil is a problem that won't go away. It's expensive to keep under control and can spread from lake to lake like a virus.
If you transfer a fragment of milfoil from one lake to another, you could start a new population.
Just a few miles away, Chip Welling from Minnesota's DNR is examining the milfoil in Lake Minnetonka. one of Minnesota's largest of its 10,000 lakes. Eurasian water milfoil was first discovered in this lake in 1987. By 1999, it had spread to 100 other lakes. Today, the weed grows in over 250 Minnesota lakes. It's a problem that's not only spreading across this state, but the entire continent.
This plant can put a lot of stems at the water surface, and then the stems branch at the surface and form mats. And that's the principal problem that most users associate with Eurasian water milfoil.
It'll make a mat on there that you swear you could walk on.
Oh, we don't know how it got here exactly, but we certainly have evidence that boaters can move the plant, and for that reason we focus a lot of our efforts on educating boaters and getting them to clean all the plants from their equipment before they leave the lake.
No weeds under here.
Cleaning, draining, and drying boats every time they come out of the water can prevent this aquatic hitchhiker known as Eurasian water milfoil from infesting even more lakes. As boaters and anglers, you could, without even knowing it, be part of the problem. Instead, become part of the solution in the daily battle against the silent invaders. North American Fisherman is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Berkeley Gulf, alive, looks alive, feels alive, tastes alive. And by Hobie Fishing, powered by Mirage Drive. And by the North American Fishing Club. Coming up, two contenders stretch their knots to the breaking point. Knot Wars is next.
Welcome to Knot Wars, where we pit two fishing knots head-to-head in a competition of strength. This season on Knot Wars, it's personal. Because not only are we pitting two fishing knots against one another, we're also setting up a battle between the anglers who selected those knots. We asked the hosts and staff at North American Fisherman, as well as some of our viewers, to tell us some of the knots that they like to use for line-to-lure and line-to-line applications. So this year, it's not just the knots that are on the line, it's pride. And as always, for Knot Wars, we use Berkeley line for all of our knots. This season, we're going to be using 14-pound Trilene XT, 15-pound Trilene 100% fluorocarbon, and 14-pound Fireline. This week on Knot Wars, our two knots are the Duncan Loop Knot and the Open Clinch Knot. Adam Hillblink, a viewer from Minnesota, selected the Duncan Loop Knot. And one of our hosts, Tyler Capella from Florida, selected the Open Clinch Knot. Let's start out by showing you how to tie each of these knots. First, the Duncan Loop Knot. Run the line through the hook eye. Draw it back up about 6 inches and then fold it back toward the hook. Then wrap the tag end 3 times around the parallel lines, moisten, and draw tight. So there you have it, the Duncan Loop Knot. Great knot, Adam, but you know what? You're going up against the Open Clinch Knot from Tyler Capella. So let's see how to tie that knot. The Open Clinch Knot is basically the clinch knot with one added feature. Start by tying an overhand knot before you run the tag end through the hook eye. Wrap the tag end up the line 5 times, then run the tag end through the loop in the overhand knot and the loop created by the wrapped tag end. Moisten and draw tight. So there's the Open Clinch Knot from Tyler Capella in Florida. Now Tyler fishes a lot of saltwater flats, which means grass. And the reason he likes this knot is because the tag end is back towards the eye of the hook, which means less hang-ups. So here we go, the moment of truth. Now here we are at our Berkeley Knot Wars machine. It's all set up, ready to go for today's competition with Adam's Duncan Loop Knot here on the right and Tyler's Open Clinch Knot here on the left. Let's see which knot comes out on top. Whoa, there you have it. The Open Clinch Knot from Tyler Capella is this week's winner. The Duncan Loop Knot, not as strong. Sorry, Adam. Now next week, we have 2 clinch knots going head to head. Kurt Beckstrom, who is editor-in-chief of North American Fisherman magazine, has selected the Reverse Improved Clench. Gonna go head to head with Tyler Capella's Open Clinch Knot, the winner this week. I cannot wait to see who's gonna come out on top. If you want to learn more about any of the knots we use here on Knot Wars, just head on over to our website, or better yet, download the Knot Wars app on your smartphone. Knot Wars, because no good fish story ends with a broken knot.
January is a great time to be down here in the Florida Keys. Let me repeat that. It's a great month to be here, the month of January. In January, what I like to do in the morning is catch bait near the marina, and then we take about a 20-minute ride back to the Everglades, and we fish the tributaries that flow out from the mainland. When it gets cold, that water's a little bit deeper and it's typically a little bit warmer. Hence the fish pile in there and they're a little easier to target when it's cold. On a typical day, we're going to catch redfish, black drum, big sea trout, and sheepshead. So let me tell you, the Florida Keys, this is a great month to be here, the month of January.
January in New York, New Jersey can be very surprising. Bottom fishing for blackfish, sea bass, cod, ling. Today we're chasing bluefin tuna, and a little bycatch of the bluefin tuna is bluefish, and some of them are big. That's not a bad bycatch when you're trying to catch bluefin tuna. So come on down. The New York Bite's a great place to be fishing in January. Bring in the new year in Times Square and come fishing for these guys. What's better than that?
Each week, Border to Border brings you the latest news and the hottest bites from around the country. For more, check out fishingclub.com.